in 10 minutes from La Paz to Loreto. We will travel together through all the desert and sea landscapes of the area, and we will give you many travel tips. Join us in exploring each place and discovering the most important points of this route. We begin by telling you the distance and time it takes to travel from one place to another. The distance between La Paz and Loreto is 356 kilometers, and the trip lasts approximately 4.5 hours. Taking the Transpeninsular Highway to the north, the first thing you will find is Chametla and Centenario. It is important that if you are going to buy something or need to go to the bathroom, you do it at this point, because here is the last gas station with a convenience store you will find in a long time. This famous point is called La Ardilla, which means squirrel in English. This stop is the intersection that takes you to San Juan de la Costa. And at this point, you must take the highway heading north, the one on your left side. Just a little further ahead is the phytosanitary inspection booth. If you avoid having fruits, plants, or vegetables with you at this point, your passage through this inspection will be much quicker. For me, this is the starting point. The trip begins on this two-line highway. Most of the trip you will be on a straight road, and just a few kilometers away from the booth, you will find some wind farms that are a spectacle. They look majestic in the desert and produce electricity for the entire area of Baja California Sur. In recent years, the use of clean energy has grown a lot in the region, and further you will also be able to see other types of sustainable structures such as solar panels. If you have never traveled through this part of Mexico, I assure you that you will love these landscapes. Keep watching. The video is just about to show you the best. That's just around the corner. These roads are very safe to drive. They are narrow, but there is not much traffic on them. I do recommend driving at a speed no more than 100 kilometers per hour. Between La Paz and Ciudad Constitution, one stretch of the curves is concentrated in approximately 5 kilometers. The curves are not very pronounced, but it is worth being careful. Here I share a tip for you. Avoid traveling at night on these roads, since it is common for animals to cross at night. Most of the accidents in this area result from nocturnal cattle crossing. Since we began the journey with an empty stomach, we decided to make a quick stop. The best place, the one we recommend, is at kilometer 98 with its famous burritos. This place is very popular among inhabitants of Baja California Sur. La Lupita Lunchroom is a must stop. So, we have to stop and try these fantastic burritos. Already satisfied and happy, we continued our journey. A little further ahead, at kilometer 100, between La Paz and Ciudad Constitution, you will find Las Positas. There you will find an OXXO and the only gas station available for a while. So if you have to make a stop, do it here. A very interesting fact about this part of the highway is that it is the longest straight road in the country and the second longest straight road in the world. Yeah, you heard right. The second longest straight road in the world. This road is located between the municipalities of La Paz and Comundú, almost reaching Ciudad Constitution. Its length is of 168 kilometers. And if you're wondering where the longest straight road in the world is, well, the answer is Saudi Arabia. We are now getting closer to our destination, but first, our next stop, Ciudad Constitution. This is the fourth largest city in the state and has the reputation of having the hardest working people in the region. California knows Ciudad Constitution as the Valley, since it is located in the heart of the agricultural valley of Santo Domingo, and it is the municipality seat of Comundú. Once we leave Ciudad Constitution, we head towards Ciudad Insurgentes. Because of their proximity, Ciudad Insurgentes and Ciudad Constitution are considered sister cities. The space connecting them is full of agricultural livestock fields. These two cities depend on each other, and I can assure you that both cities are home to very hardworking people. The people of Baja California know this area as La Toba. As I mentioned, in Baja California Sur, people appreciate and use a lot of clean energy. In this section of the road, there is a large region covered with solar panels that contribute to producing clean energy. The distance between Ciudad Constitución and Ciudad Insurgentes is 28 kilometers. It took us about 18 minutes to get from Ciudad Constitución to La Toba. Just before entering the city, you will find a crossroad. There you will need to turn right to go toward Loreto. At this point, you have about an hour and 20 minutes of majestic landscapes until you arrive to this great place, Loreto. We made this trip at the end of October. During this season, it is common to see travelers in motorhomes, motorcycles, and other recreational vehicles. Most of them are tourists from the United States and Canada. They come to Baja California Sur to spend the winter, and during their stay, they make a great economic impact throughout the state. Going back to the highway and its beauty, here you can enjoy the most beautiful landscapes. Keeping an eye on the wheel is very important because the scenery can be very distracting. Right here, the roads get a little more winding. There are many curves and the roads become narrower, but there is no need to worry if you drive carefully. Once again, I recommend you to avoid crossing this area at night to prevent risk, but above all, because you would miss out on all the beauty. Once you cross the mountains, you will find the Gulf of California, also called the Sea of Cortés, El Mar de Cortés. Something very important that I have not mentioned is that there are also many tourists on bicycles who make their journey from different parts of the world. Many come from Alaska and different places in Canada. I have traveled this road many times, and it never ceases to surprise me. Here, the beaches and roadside restaurants begin, and several tourist complexes have recently been developed on very calm seashores. Here, the sea looks like a lagoon, and I want you to know the best part of all. All this beauty is in Mexico. Here, you will find a viewpoint which will allow you to enjoy the dolphins. You should know that sometimes you can watch them from your car while driving, but remember to be careful, it can be dangerous. After a straight road and passing some hills, you will find the surprising oasis called Nopolo. This will let you know that you have arrived to Loreto. The green place in the middle of the desert is a natural spectacle that you don't want to miss. And so, after 3 hours and 52 minutes, we have arrived and are ready to enjoy the little town surrounded by the contrasting and beautiful desert and sea. On top of its beauty, Loreto will surprise you because it is always impeccable. Due to its geographic position, Loreto does not receive much of national tourism. Access is complicated, but it's not impossible. Whether you are traveling from within Mexico or from somewhere else, I do recommend to put Loreto on your list of destinations to visit. Thank you for joining us on this tour. Remember to subscribe to see more adventures. We will see you next time.